Hey, Jen.
Hey! I am so glad you're back. It's so wonderful to have you back in the halls. It feels more like Nueva this way.
I'm really excited to be back.
So now that we're no longer deaning, but we're doing many more other amazing things, what are you up to now?
Oh, well, I'm working on the environmental citizenship program. So I'm the assistant director of environmental citizenship. You know, if a student is at Nueva for 14 years, right, like pre-K to 12, like what is that like arc of like growth with regard to environmental citizenship? What does it look like? How do we frame what our goals and objectives are for students like as they graduate with regard to the environment? The school is building like an environmental center, right? An environmental lab, which is like incredibly cool.
In the trees.
In the trees. In the trees.
I think our trees and your trees are gonna be gossiping. They're very talkative.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, I've got a live oak that's a live wire.
Very live? Okay.
Very live.
Ours are just pining.
I'm currently working on this Humanities task force with a few wonderful board members, lots of amazing faculty input, and hopefully soon some student and new faculty input as well. We want to basically supplement the curriculum as it exists. So you, I believe, are building curriculum.
Yes.
Whereas our group is actually thinking, how do we get to deepen curriculum? If you're on fire and you want to learn about French existentialism, let's go.
We asked some of our students and alumni about what questions they might have. So, what is your best essay writing advice?
Just get in there and just start writing, because often people think that I need to have come up with my ideas and formed the opinion or the thought and then begin to write. But actually, writing is the process of thinking. All of those questions of analysis or opinion or that beautiful electric art of creativity, that's happening as you write. So don't delay, just get in there. What can we students do to help contribute in small ways to the environmental fight?
The impact that actions have and the ease in which they are to do is going to depend on the individual, right? So for some people, like becoming vegetarian might be a really good decision for somebody to make. It might like work well for them. It might like have a big impact. Like that might be awesome. It might not be, right? And so I think, or like walking to school, right? For some of our students, that's a great thing to do. For some of our students, that's a terrible idea. Don't do that, right? And so I think it's like, what's the right way? Or
To take it to the individual.
yeah. That like the person who asked that question, I'm really excited about. The care is already there. Part of what I see is really important in like environmental citizenship and maybe also in humanities, right? Is like, how do we inspire students? They're already pretty inspired to this, but how do we sort of like even fuel more of that fire to like think deeply and wrestle with hard problems so they get really good at that so they do that with their lives? You know how like sometimes the students are like, oh, like you had like such a big impact on me. And I'm like, oh, that's lovely. But I feel like really the students like had a really big impact on me.
Working mostly one-on-one, sometimes in workshops, but often one-on-one with students, I will come out of those conversations with completely new ideas or a fresh appreciation for something regularly, like all the time. I love that. And I love the fact that students are willing to be that vulnerable with me.
Students ask questions all the time.
Thank you.
And like that like just always like keeps me thinking and learning and working with them, and often like they bring answers and they teach me things and I like have to go find answers. And so like this like, you know, this like repertoire of like eclectic knowledge that we gain from like working here because students like take things in crazy directions.
Do you remember the Kennings thing? I remember
No.
some students showed up and they're like, Kennings are fabulous. And at first I genuinely was thinking, is there somebody named Ken Ings? Like, what are you talking about? And it was this fabulous sort of Viking way of speaking where you create sort of a metaphorical phrase. It was amazing.
Their curiosity runs so big that we then get to like, it's like being a travel guide writer, sort of, kind of, right? But like, they're like, I want to go to like here and here and here and here. And we're like, cool, we're gonna learn about this place.
We're gonna itinerary, yep,
Yeah.
yep. Oh, can I do the emotional heartstrings one? Come on.
Sure, I'm sure it is.
What has your time away from Nueva taught you or allowed you to reflect on?
You know, I think when one is in a place and things are like going well, right? Then it's like, oh yeah, that's a good place, yeah, right? And then I think sort of like the leaving is like, oh, that was an amazing place, right? So, and I very much enjoy what I was doing in those years, and it just feels like home here in a way that I think is really important.
What did you miss about Nueva students?
One is there's just like so much like a hunger for learning how the world works, right? The student who in class is like, seems to be like totally tuned out because they have their like laptop open or engrossed in something, is just trying to learn about some more things that are related to the topic and really just needs to know like all the different like levels of the atmosphere, and like that's awesome.
The depth of my dedication to this school and the reason that we're here, it gets exponentially bigger. It's phenomenal. Like all those moments where I think like I couldn't be happier with my faculty, my staff, and my school, and the students. And then I talk to, and then I talk to somebody else and I go, oh my gosh, I can hardly wait to learn more. So it just feels like it's been unfolding that way.